I wanted to be on a team that could not only go to the finals, but finish and win the whole thing.
I live by this thought na kapag nasa court na tayo, gera na to.
Siyempre, lahat naman gusto yun eh. Lahat ng teams, lahat paghihirapan para mapunta ng championship eh.
In-expect talaga namin na mananalo kami. Siguro, it's just a blessing na 3 sets.
Which team is on the other side, it just matters how we play.
I can tell you that our goal is just to win and do our best.
Wala nang relax, lahat lalaban, walang magpapatalo.
I think we have a good chance and I think kaya namin.
The stage is set for the last dance in the women's division of the Philippine Superliga Grand Prix, and the fans are ready to rock the Cuneta Astrodome. The protagonists are prepared to fly a little higher, hit a little stronger, and play a little bigger. You go big or you go home. It is Petron versus Generika. Welcome to the finals of the PSL Grand Prix, brought to you by Solar Sports. Thank you so much for joining us in this momentous occasion in the PSL. James Velasquez, as always, with the volleyball evangelist, Mr. Tex Tudor. It has come down to the best 2 teams battling it out for the championship.
That's right. All of these teams clicking on all cylinders at the right time, and you can see in the performance and in the score lines of everything, you have each team just ready for action. All totally team concept now by both teams.
You know, talents-wise, personalities-wise, this is a dream matchup as we review the road to the finals. Petron and Generika dominating in the semis to arrange this finals matchup.
That's right. Now, let's see personnel-wise, on an individual basis, how each talent will come together and gel. As if you look at the stat lines here, Petron, Elena Bergsma, a name we've been calling out a lot of the time. She's in the top 5 of almost all the categories in the best department. But the locals combined for 48 points. Namely, you know, Molina had 13. You know, Adachi had 47 excellent sets. And a total team concept play because Elena Bergsma, Erika Adachi have Jen Reyes to keep digging that ball, and they can transition offense.
And this is the main reason why Petron has been so dominant throughout the PSL Grand Prix. Yes, they have suffered some bumps and bruises along the way, especially heading to the semifinals. But, you know, given the talent of this team and given their chemistry, it seems as if they can flick that switch whenever they want.
Yeah, I mean, even in that tough defeat they faced, and their first blemish, as we see, you know, 25 points here from Elena Bergsma, 13 points from Tintin Santiago. They defeated Signal, but it's really the unsung heroes of the defense here in Erika Adachi, getting so many set opportunities because of Dig Anything Jen Reyes, just digging that ball, anchoring that defense, and giving Petron multiple attacks per point.
And the first ball of Jen Reyes really huge for Petron, #1 in reception and in digs. We've examined the red corner. We now go to Petron's road to the finals. As you see, the longest win streak was at 6 before, again, they suffered those little bumps and bruises. Do you think did they peak too early, or the best is yet to come for Petron?
No, I think like with the Chicago Bulls in their 72-10 season.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they were just chugging along, and then all of a sudden they had some late hiccups because not so much that, but maybe when you're playing so well, you need to be challenged to maintain that game.
Excellently put. As you look, of course, at the Petron Blaze Spikers, Gretchen Ho, Mina Aganon, and Micah Morada will be playing major roles for the Petron Blaze Spikers. Now, we're done with the red corner. We go to the blue corner, the Generika Lifesavers. Contrasting fates here. Generika actually stumbled out of the gates to begin the Grand Prix, but then now they are the owners of the hottest win streak in the game.
Yeah, because they started to click right at the right time. And Shinohara is now familiar with her spikers and all their little tricks that they want. And she's really finding and distributing it. Korobkova, our usual suspect, especially for the attack department. As you know, she is the best spiker of the tournament.
Yes.
And you have also the best blocker in Abby Maranhão. So what kind of balance will be struck here by Shinohara distributing the offense? As we can see, 13 points in her last game, not a fantastic outing by any means for her standard, but you have Paneng Mercado and Mikmik Laborte, that's 23 points, and that almost equals one import. So you take away the Shinohara because she's an import, you want more production out of her, but she's only effective in the excellent set department. But Korobkova got the help she needed for this particular game.
Well, again, talking about the Lifesavers in this win streak, again, we mentioned lost a couple of games, their first 2 games actually, before defeating Photon. What changed for them?
It's just I think they're buying into Coach Ramil's system now, and Korobkova is just dominating in the air. As we can see, there she is, Natalia Korobkova, just fantastic hitter, but she's got a business-like attitude. But we need Paneng Mercado, Chuck Cruz, Mikmik Laborte. You know, they need to step up for this team to really go forward.
A lot of subplots to be discussed in this game story, and some of them at courtside. Let's turn it over first to Carla Aguas.
Thanks, James and Tex. I'm here now with Coach George Pascua, the coach of Petron. Now, Coach George, the last time you saw Generika, you guys lost. Siyempre naman, diba, 5-setter. All your locals played. With that being said, para sa'yo, confident ka ba pa rin sa mga locals mo?
Yeah, of course. Pinractice namin, and then yun ang game plan namin para kahit pa paano mabuo yung confidence nila. Hindi lang sila aasa dun sa 2 imports. That's why kaya yun ang naging scenario namin nung game namin sa Generika.
Now, Generika has been winning. Paulit-ulit yung mga wins nila, padami ng padami. Now, para sa'yo, ano yung mga advantages at disadvantages ng Petron coming into today's finals?
So yung advantage siguro ng Generika is yung experience sila sa championship. Kasi matagal na silang kasama. Though, yun, sabi nga sa mga players ko, dapat yun ang ma-overcome namin. Then, sumunod sila dun sa game plan namin at saka dun sa strategies namin.
Now, Coach, ang daming nagtatanong kasi they want to get to know you on a personal level kasi winning coach ka. So, ano ang bumubuo ng isang Coach George Pascua?
Simpleng masiyahin at kwela kasi ayaw ko na malungkot. Kailangan, gusto ko laging masaya. Same thing, pagka may nangyari ito, malamang masaya kami pag nanalo kami lalo.
At magpapa-burger ka ba pag nanalo kayo?
Of course, with gasoline pa.
There you guys have it, guys, with gasoline pa. Good luck, Coach George. Thank you, and back to you, James and Tex.
Yeah, George Pascua there just saying he wants his locals and his imports alike to play the team concept and buy into his system. He's got a game plan, he's got a strategy, and they have to follow it because this is the recipe for success. So let's see how the locals support Elena Bergsma and Erica Adachi. And since they are a setter-opposite combination, quite an unusual setup there, but effective nonetheless.
Interesting to see how Petron will handle the other team here in the Cuneta Astro Generika Lifesavers, and reporting for them at courtside is, of course, Ina Ongshako.
James and Tex, beside me right now is the assistant coach of the Generika Lifesavers. Of course, that is Coach Benson Bokbok. Now, Coach Bok, alam naman natin lahat, with a conference this short, timing is everything. At talaga lang, the timing of Generika's winning streak is so perfect. Can you tell us, what do you think is the advantage of your team coming into this finals game with so much pressure and with that kind of momentum?
I guess the continuous winning will help the team more to be more relaxed. So, kasi yung una, nag-start kami, lahat tense, quiet lahat, walang nagsasalita. So ngayon medyo relax sila, they started to have fun. So kahit pa paano, I think coming into finals, medyo in a way mag-enjoy sila tapos magfo-focus din sila at the same time.
All right, thank you so much, Coach Bokbok, and definitely good luck in today's finals game. Back to you, James and Tex.
Thank you so much, Ino, Shako, and now both protagonists are ready. The crowd inside the Cuneta Astrodome is ready. Volleyball evangelist Tex Suter, are you ready?
I am so excited and ready for this matchup. Can't wait to see how the chess match ensues. And I'll try to call them out as best I can.
And again, thank you so much to everyone joining us live here at the Cuneta Astrodome, to everyone watching at home on Solar Sports. This is the finals in the women's division of the Philippine Superliga Grand Prix. The Petron Blaze Spikers, the Generika Lifesavers. Let's meet the starters for both squads.
Feet as we meet your starting lineup for the finals match. First, let us meet the starting lineup for the Generika Lifesavers. Starting with our center from Japan, number 6, Ryu Shinohara. Number 11, open spiker team captain, Jack Cruz. At middle blocker, number 2, Abby Maraño. At utility, number 20, from Russia, Natalia Korotkova. At the open, number 4, Stephanie Mercado. And the other middle blocker at number 17, Mick Laborte. Libero is number 5, Melissa Guahi. The head coach for the Generika Lifesavers is Coach Ramil De Jesus. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Petron Blaze Spikers. At the open, number 7, Francis Molina. At center, from Brazil, number 9, Erica Adachi. Middle, number 16, Titi Santiago. Number 4, the other open, Carmina Agradon. Utility, from USA, number 2, Elena Bergsma. And the middle blocker, number 13,
Familiar lineups on the floor for both Petron Blaze and Generika. As Coach George Pasco is set to do battle with Coach Ramil De Jesus on the other end. Jen Reyes leading the league in receptions, in digs. Elena Bergsma in the top categories of most statistics. Natalia Korotkova, the ravishing Russian herself, leading the league in scoring. Will it be the dominance of Petron Blaze, or will the momentum of Generika carry over? This is the finals, and the X Factor section we were talking about. What would you like to see from both teams?
What I'd like to see from both teams is on the Petron side, I need to see more production here from Nina Aganon. She's in the outside position. You need a good 10-11 point performance from her to be effective. On the Generika side, you want to see Cha Cruz a little bit more aggressive. But in fairness to Cha Cruz, she wasn't attacking a lot, but she was defending and blocking. But they really need her hitting for them to chug along and defeat Petron.
Well, Cha Cruz, like you mentioned, number 3 in the league in reception, number 10 in digs. And Generika with the opening service, and they serve up an ace.
Okay, I was about to mention Elena Bergsma, you know, tops in the 5 out of 7 categories, and the only category she's not a candidate for is sets and receptions.
And Lee Shinohara actually number 4 in the league in service aces and back-to-back hits from the service line.
Elena Bergsma, the target now of Miyu Shinohara. Has a beautiful jump serve, just dies in front of her.
It seems as if Miyu Shinohara has one plan from the service line. Attack.
Yeah, they changed their reception formation here, covering Elena.
And look at that! Miyu Shinohara is on fire from the service line.
Yep, there's so many ways to hurt a team. And Miyu Shinohara showing one way to do so is to serve top. It really limits the offense of your opponent.
3-0 start for the Generika Lifesavers. And finally, Petron Blaze receives well. Aganon attacks but covered well. Shinohara set up for Korokova. But good dig in the back row. Aganon off speed and sends it out of bounds.
The ravaging Russian, so deceiving. You think she's slow, but once you play against her, you'll feel the weight of her hit. She hits a very heavy ball.
Shinohara again trying to load up the serve. Adachi back set for Dintin Santiago, and Santiago puts it down.
Pretty running attack here from Petron, stopping the bleeding.
And you could see it in the face of Dintin Santiago. Tech shooter, when you have the hammer,
you put it down.
Miyu sends it over to Natalia, but Morada digs it up. Bergsma on the attack, Cruz digs it up. Miyu goes back to Natalia, tries to push but no goal. And a miscommunication at the front side of this gives Generika a 5-1 advantage in set number 1.
Yeah, George Pasqua pointing to his back row player. You need to take that. You don't want your front players taking any balls if necessary. They need to run their offense.
Cha Cruz to serve. Easy over for Cruz. Morada sends it over to Elena Bergsma. Off speed, but Gohin keeps it alive. Krobkova measures, blocked up top, but that one goes out of bounds.
A big key to the success here being experienced by Generika. Look at Miyu Shinohara now vocal on the court where she never was. There's now a communication. There's communication happening between the setter and her hitters.
Here's Elena Bergsma, attack not over. And look at the Generika Lifesavers, all guns blazing out of the gate. They lead 7-1.
Maybe championship jitters here on Petron's side. You got to pass the ball, go back to the basics.
Worth to mention that Coach Ramil De Jesus' players won championships collegiately playing for him. But that attack from Dintin Santiago is good, scoring off the blocker.
Yeah, wing blocker's hands not turned in. Got to put him back in the court. Let's see how many serves Dintin can score.
Number 6 in the league in service aces, Dintin Santiago. Miyu to Maraño, blocked up top. Ball still alive, Maraño with a block. Ball still alive. And a chance ball given up. Miyu to Natalia. And that one goes out of bounds, blocked away.
One of the rare times Korokova was blocked because Miyu sent that ball a little low right in the wheelhouse of the blockers. Ninagan and Micah Morada were able to get to her.
Well, check that, it's a block kill for the Petron Blaze Spikers, 3-serving-7. They target Abby on the service. Back set to Natalia. A little English on that volleyball. And chance ball given up. Abby with a push, no. Jan Reyes gets under it. Elena measures it and puts it down.
Elena Bergsma going clear over the block. So we can see here just a high wrist snap here, maximizing her 6'3", just hitting it over.
Number 1 in scoring, number 2 in spiking. Talking about Elena Bergsma offensively. Dintin Santiago back on the line to serve. for serving 7 in set number 1.
Yeah, Melissa going, pointing at her elbow. She's got a little scrape there, a little blood coming. No blood, no foul.
Oh, look at Tindon Santiago target Abby Marano, and she serves out by just 2. As a timeout is whistled by Coach Ramil De Jesus. Let's try to listen in.
Pumasok ka na rito. Tapos balik ka dito, tsaka gumana. Bacon mo. Ha? Pumunta ka na rito. Balik ka na dito. Okay, Mel, kuha ka na na-receive, ha? Adjust na rito si... Oo, kaya mo na pumunta yung ball rito. Hindi, nag-cut ko lang dito. Sila, magpanong ka lang. Magpanong ka. O kung gusto mo, tumuloy ka na rito. Basta tempo na, 0 tempo kailangan para makabasag na.
Alright, little tweaking here of the receiving formation. Because of the excellent serving of Tindon Santiago, you gotta modify your reception or your receiving formation, I should say.
And again, the primary concern here, talking about the Petron Blade Spikers, this duo of Elena Bursma and Tindon Santiago, actually, if you include Mina Aganon, the three-headed monster offensively, when they are on, they're a very difficult team to stop.
That's right. And when Aganon goes into the backcourt, you have Ces Molina now to deal with. She's been one of the more steady offensive players.
Here's Kromkova off the blocker, gets the finish.
Better set here from Mia Shinohara, getting into the wheelhouse of Kromkova way up there.
And Generika goes to their first technical timeout with the lead, 8-5.
The Philippine Superliga.
And see if they can trade blows and see if Kromkova can retaliate. I'd be content to trade with this score.
Shinohara sends it over to Natalia. Right-handed shot, no go. Back set for Elena Bergson. Blocked the top. But Tindon Santiago keeps it alive. Elena again. And that one is good.
Elena Bergson not to be denied. But the sets are starting to dip here. Unfortunate transition offense from Generika. The set was too tight. Kromkova had to give a chance ball here to Petron, and Petron cashing in twice to Elena Bergsma, second time the charm.
Sharp service for Petron Blades. Natalia, Panay Mercado had to adjust, but Micah Morada sends it back.
Micah Morada playing honest defense there. Didn't give up. Good read. Protecting the donut hole behind her. Moreover, that protected Erica Adachi from receiving the ball, taking the setter out of the play.
Mina got it to serve. Easy over. Laborte sends it over to Natalia Kromkova. Lethal lefty. And that one is good.
Just amazed with some of the angles that Natalia Kromkova comes up with. A very talented hitter. Big lefty.
And curiously, Natalia Kromkova plays with her left hand, but serves with her right hand, just like what she did there. 9 serving 8. Elena Bergson blocked the top. Abby Marano with the coverage. Miu, Laborte. Chance for Elena. Kromkova digs it up, but sails out of bounds. And again, we are tied up 9 points apiece in set number 1 as we turn it over to courtside to Ina Oshako.
James and Tex coach Benson Bokbok shared with me earlier that the only thing the Generika Lifesavers has been practicing on for the past few days is their service and reception, because he believes that the way the team will win today is if they have good good receive and good service when it comes to the first ball. That has also been what Coach Ramil De Jesus has been telling the girls to focus on in the adjustments he's made in the past 2 timeouts, and that is definitely what they have been showing us so far. James and Tex?
Yeah, I mean, it really boils down to if you can receive, you can set. If you can set, you can spike. So Generika just going back to the basics, because all these elaborate plays and everything, it all boils down to if you can pass the ball. Doesn't matter what level of volleyball you're in. But at this level, it's more important about transitioning. And transitioning means defending.
And actually with a thumb and the finish. And Petron's turn to go on a scoring pair. They are up 11-9 here in set number 1. And now let's turn it over to the other side of the court, this time with Carla Aguas.
Thanks, James. It looks like the Blaze Spikers were in for a bumpy ride at the start of the set, but Coach George was quick to calm down his Blaze Spikers. He reminded them that he recognizes that Generika does have experience in the finals, but he also told his team that they need to start calming down together. Now, he told them they need to establish a solid defense in blocking and to remember that 70% of the time, the ball will go to Korobkova. Now, that's why they have to prepare. Back to you, James and Tex.
And speaking of Natalia Korobkova, the ravishing Russian with a facial.
Yeah, off the deflection there, you can see he hit her left eye.
We can all be friends after the game. That's what Natalia Korobkova was sending in that message. Laborde with that shot and the finish.
Heads up play there from Mikvik Laborde doing her job in the middle. But if you can see, this is a Japanese offense. This is how the national team of Japan runs their offense, making their setter the middle blocker.
Maraño takes it up. Unfortunately, no one was there for the second ball.
Yeah, Chacruz got caught. Unfortunately, already posing to hit. Should defend first.
Petron Blaze with a 1-point advantage off that error. But like you mentioned, Miyu Shinohara, more vocal than we've ever seen her here in the tournament.
And they're already having conversations about, you know, what they're going to do on defense. And just like that, the X factor shows up. Chacruz, we're going to need a good maybe 14-point performance from her, which is well within her wheelhouse.
We're going to have to change her moniker from Miss Everything to Spike Everything if Generika wants a fighting chance.
That's right. She
for the
really
championship today.
She put that ball down with some gusto.
Dindin Santiago, but good coverage by Korobkova. Back to Cha. Unfortunately, couldn't score. She gets it back. Miyu, back set. Abby, running attack. And that one is good.
Nice transition game by both teams. It's almost like boiling down to who can paint the line more.
Another interesting battle is Dindin Santiago versus Abby Maraño. Best friends, actually. Shinohara attacks, but no goal. Back set for Dindin. Blocked up top. Adachi, cross-court setup. Mina Aganon. And that one is good for Petron Blaze.
Yeah, but if you're Petron, you kind of not too confident there. No, nothing crossed the net. It's just a minor blocking error. Abby Maraño showing why she's the #1 blocker of the tournament, just getting everywhere, sending everything back. Unfortunately, just sent that back a little wide.
Oh, Shinohara tried to dump it over. An excellent dig by Petron Blaze. Korobkova covers the back row. Miyu to Natalia, back row attack. Gohin keeps it alive. Cruz on the attack, blocked away.
Excellent blocking now. Petron returning the favor, sending everything back Generika's way.
Mr. Tex Suter, it is a duel here at the Cuneta Astrodome.
Yeah, Paneng Mercado kind of caught watching that play, unfortunately.
Cruz measures the shot. Bergsma sends it cross court. Aganon couldn't score. Back set for Maraño. Patented running attack, no goal. Adachi back set. Alena back roll. And she scores off the blocker. This time, Petron takes the lead, heading into the second technical timeout, 16-12.
The Philippine Superliga is brought to you by Energizer Battery.
I've fallen in love. I've fallen in love for the first time. This time I know it's for real. Oh, I want to break free. Oh, I want to break free. Oh, I want to break free. Oh, I want to break free.
Hearts are racing. Palms are sweating, and everyone just enjoying the game here. It's only the first set, but we have seen fireworks from both Petron Blaze and the Generika Lifesavers. As Natalia Kropkova scores on the back row, Generika still trailing by 3, 13 to serve 16.
Erika Adachi there biting her fingers because the ball went through her. She didn't press enough. Didn't get the hands all across the net.
Nishinohara with that explosive service ace barrage earlier. As Santiago puts it down with authority.
Yeah, Coach Ramil telling Chuck Cruz, you gotta come over to help block. You gotta cover the line. So Melissa going just at the mercy of the free swing.
And Melissa Going is going to have to elevate her game against Dintin Santiago and Elena Bergsma. Kropkova, she puts it down.
Erika Adachi caught with the wrong foot forward, but really no matter. Kropkova returning the favor. You're going to serve me? Give me the ball, I'll put it down. Boy, did she put that ball down the line. Excellent swing.
Easy over for Cha Cruz. Mercado tries to dump it over, and she gets the finish.
Okay, let's see if that gets Paning Mercado going. We're going to need maybe a 11, 12-point performance from her too. That's one for her.
And again, an interesting matchup to watch. The tandem of Cruz and Mercado versus Morada and Agano.
And what's nice is you see Miu being vocal and now discussing defense with her libero. I mean, it's good to see that there's communication flowing. Not like that first game where everybody had to go by sign language.
Sometimes it's a service error. Just canceling each other out. Generika trailing by 2, 16 to serve 18. Player number 2, Abby Maraño, on deck to serve. Adachi had to adjust. And a chance for Generika. Maraño to Mercado, blocked away, but ball kept alive. Oh, wrong setup there by Nishinohara, and Petron will catch a lucky break.
Coach Ramil not happy with that set from Adachi since she was a back row player. But the first referee thinking that it was still on their side of the court, so he didn't call it.
This time sets up Kropkova perfectly, and she puts it away.
Elena Bergsma still backpedaling to her defensive position when the ball got there.
And like you mentioned, Coach Ramil maybe not happy with what Miu did, but this is a usual substitution that he does towards the latter end, or the later end rather, of sets, since Gumavo and Makatuno in place of Nishinohara and Natalia Kropkova.
Yeah, probably giving his imports a break, at the same time toughening up the front row spiking, because we know Gumavo is a reliable blocker here on the outside.
And Gumavo gets a touch. Jen Reyes digs it up. Here's Bergsma on the attack and the finish. 3-point advantage for Petron Blaze, thanks to that cross-court kill by Elena Bergsma, number 1 in the Hearts are racing, palms are sweating, and everyone just enjoying the game here. It's only the first set, but we have seen fireworks from both Petron Blaze and the Generika Lifesavers. As Natalia Kropkova scores on the back row, Generika still trailing by 3, 13 to serve 16.
Erika Adachi there biting her fingers because the ball went through her. She didn't press enough. Didn't get the hands all across the net.
Nishinohara with that explosive service ace barrage earlier. As Santiago puts it down with authority.
Yeah, Coach Coach Ramil telling Cha Cruz, you gotta come over to help block. You gotta cover the line. That's why Melissa going just at the mercy of the free swing.
And Melissa going is going to have to elevate her game against Dindin Santiago and Elena Bergsma. Kromkova, she puts it down.
Erica Adachi caught with the wrong foot forward, but really no matter. Kromkova returning the favor. You're gonna serve me? Give me the ball, I'll put it down. Boy, did she put that ball down the line. Excellent swing.
Easy over for Cha Cruz. Mercado tries to dump it over, and she gets the finish.
Okay, let's see if that gets Paning Mercado going. We're going to need maybe a 11, 12-point performance from her too. That's one for her.
And again, an interesting matchup to watch, the tandem of Cruz and Mercado versus Morada and Agano.
And what's nice is you see Miu being vocal and now discussing defense with her libero. I mean, it's good to see that there's communication flowing, not like that first game where everybody had to go by sign language.
Dindin Santiago commits a service error, just canceling each other out. Generika trailing by 2, 16 to serve 18. Player number 2, Abby Maraño, on deck to serve. Adachi had to adjust. And a chance for Generika. Maraño to Mercado, blocked away, but ball kept alive. Oh, wrong setup there by Miu Shinohara, and Petron will catch a lucky break.
Coach Ramil not happy with that set from Adachi since she was a back row player. But the first referee thinking that it was still on their side of the court, so he didn't call it.
This time sets up Kromkova perfectly, and she puts it away.
Elena Bergsma still backpedaling to her defensive position when the ball got there.
And like you mentioned, Coach Ramil maybe not happy with what Miu did, but this is a usual substitution that he does towards the latter end, or the later end rather, of sets, since in Gumavo and Makatuno in place of Miu Shinohara and Natalia Kromkova.
Yeah, probably giving his imports a break. At the same time, toughening up the front row spiking, because we know Gumavo is a reliable blocker here on the outside.
And Gumavo gets a touch. Jan Reyes digs it up. Here's Bergsma on the attack and the finish. 3-point advantage for Petron Blaze, thanks to that cross-court kill by Elena Bergsma, number 1 in the league.
Okay, Estampa in for Mick Labarte, gonna get some height. You have Michelle Gumabao and Estampa and Paning Mercado. Paning Mercado, not the tallest of players, but boy, she got the hops.
Melissa Estampa, 6 feet, definitely with some ceiling. Mercado trying to score off the blocker, but no goal. Adachi to Cesc Molina. And Cesc Molina from San Beda College getting on the board with that finish. And Petron Blaze with the advantage, 21 to 17.
Inunahan ka dito, nandito ka, ang layo mo. Tapakan mo yung bola. Okay? Sino dinidipend sa likod? Then ikaw? Abi, tingnan mabuti ha. Hindi sila nagkadikit eh. So sa gitna na tayo didepensa. Pagka nagkadikit dito na sa gilid. Okay? Kumatay lang tayo. Kailangan pangil ng palo. Hindi pwedeng palagay-lagay. Paluin mo nung papaluin. Talsik o tatalsik. Papasok. Ganun lang. Go! Tayo.
Okay, Coach Ramil just what I understood as advice from Yoda, you know, stop trying, just do or do not, just go for it. So, just telling his defense, this is where they're running their offense, and why are we standing there? You know, just making minor corrections. He wants to zone Petron into where his defense is set.
So, Maika Morada Unfortunately, that shot doesn't go. You know, I like that you were able to put in a Star Wars reference. You're more than just a volleyball evangelist.
Although I must admit, I am a Trekkie more than a Star Wars fan.
Understandable, understandable. Again, as you look at that last sequence.
Yeah, May Makatuno's hand was still on this side, and so was the ball. It's the same instance that happened on the other side.
18 serving 21. Set up for Mina Aganon, blocked away. A stop by Gumaba protecting the net. Elena from the back row, blocked away. Estampa making her presence felt. Abby, a little surprised by that one. Cruz off speed. Excellent dive by Dindin. Losing to that. Elena attack, but Maraño digs it up. Michelle Gumaba, no! Elena start to attack. That's good!
Excellent offense is being run by both teams. Fortunately, Panay Mercado sitting on the, well, I'm sorry, standing there on the defensive end. Should have come forward.
Look at the utilization of Erica Adachi whenever Elena Burnsmith at the back row. Makatuno sends it over to Cha Cruz. Attack not over.
Yeah, Cha Cruz overcooked her shoulders, and that allowed the ball to dip a little bit.
Short breather for Kropkova and Shinohara. They come back to the game. Mike Alvarado on deck to serve.
Shinohara clapping, calling out her defense. One pass, one pass.
Oh, Cruz couldn't control it. Goheng trying to send it back, but goes out of bounds. Set point for Petron Blaze. 24 to serve 18. Goheng receives well. Back row attack for Natalia. And that one is good for Kropkova.
Yeah, Kropkova refusing, just muscling that ball through.
Still with a fighting chance here for the Lifesavers. 19 serving 24. Adachi to Dindin Santiago. And that one not over. Point will go to Generika.
Okay, play calling of Petron going to the fast play. Gonna test the pivot speed of Abby Maraño. You have to be wary. Erica Adachi is in the front row.
They managed to keep it alive. Kropkova had to dive for it. Mio sends it over to Cruz. And that one is good.
Beautiful defenses, but better attacking here from Cha Cruz.
This time, Coach George Pascua sues for tie.
Okay, Din, dito ka, Din. You run. Okay? Din, kung i-din, habaan mo lang yung palo. Alin mo yung height mo. Pagka, target ka ng position 1. Dito ka tatarget, ha? Kasi mali yung blockers doon. Ipalanganin sa middle and drop. Okay? What we need is one good pass only and one good attack. Okay?
George Pascua pointing out that the zone 1 or the service area is pretty much being left unattended. And if not, you just go to the donut hole that's usually there in the center of the court if the libero is not watching.
As we look at Cha Cruz go up high for the strong finish.
Just went high hands there, smart hitting.
Royce Estampa on deck, 21 to serve 24. Adachi dumps it over, and Petron Blaze will get set number 1, 25 to 21. This is the finals in the women's division of the Philippine Superliga Grand Prix. Keep it here on Solar Sports. Petron Blaze draws first blood In this finals matchup against the Generika Lifesavers, taking set number 1, 25-21. What was the story of the first set?
Well, don't be deceived by the error stat line, because those errors came in the right opening of the set with those reception errors. And Petron ended up attacking more, had more blocks, and 2 service aces. And they were just kept off balance. They threw more punches at Generika, and Generika couldn't answer.
As we look at Mr. Wilson Cheng from Solar Entertainment Corporation, glad to have you, sir. And of course, everyone here at the Cuneta Astro enjoying this matchup. Curious change here for the lineup of the Generika Lifesavers.
Yeah, they have Gumabao in to solve the blocking issues.
She is joined by Mia Shinohara, Maring Mercado, Abby Maraño, Sir Gumabao, and Larissa Gohing.
Yeah, they're going to make Koropkova an outside spiker. Get away from Lena Bergsma's block.
So trying to avoid that matchup as Abby Maraño books it down.
Yeah, little chess here being played by Coach Ramil.
But on the flip side, without Koropkova matching up with Bergsma, now Bergsma's matchup really has to elevate her game.
Yeah.
As again, look at Generika get on the board with a service ace.
And the advantage of having Michelle Gumabao on the outside, she's an able blocker. She's a tall young lady there, might be able to slow Elena Bergsma's attacks down. Oh, brilliant serving
look
here.
Look at Mia Shinohara. All the confidence in the world, and she puts it away.
Okay, they're going to hide Nina Aganon.
Strong jump serve. You know, that's the most deceiving of all. No spin. Because when it hits you, that's when it gets the violent spin.
Yeah, they're hiding Nina Aganon up front.
They get the best in the league in receptions. Jen Reyes to get that one. Shinohara back set. Michelle Gumabao attack not over.
Set a little too outside for her, not in her wheelhouse. Expecting the little flick from Kim Fajardo. She was very effective in her DLSU days.
A little Senti Sunday for you, huh? One serving 4. A good read by Generika as that service sails out of bounds. And the Lifesavers are up 5-1 as we turn it over to Carla Aguas at courtside.
Coming into the second set, Coach George was all smiles as he explained to me his strategy for this second set, which involved better receiving, better blocks, and of course, maximum floor coverage. He reminded the Blaze Spikers that they need to remember their roles in order to play better volleyball. He also said that he's assigning Erica Adachi to read the ball so that she is in charge of the combination plays that they will do. Now, he also reminded the Blaze Spikers that they're called the Blaze Spikers because they have to move aggressively and fast. They can't be like Diesel. They need to up their pace. Back to you guys.
Yeah, well, no secret there that Erica Adachi is the proverbial maestra here for her team. She's got to read that ball and distribute it.
And Generika gives up a chance ball. Adachi goes cross court. Cés Molina.
Unfortunately, the block of Generika not well formed. And Cés Molina just having a heyday there. I want to correct the point I made. They're making Koropkova an outside hitter to match up precisely with Elena Bergsma.
Unfortunately, the service line not so kind to the Trailblazers in the second set. Another error, allowing Generika to take a 3-point advantage.
Yeah, so far the X factor in Nina Aganon not showing up to the game yet.
The target thinned in on the service. Back set for Elena Bergsma. Couldn't score. Shinohara to Gumabao. Drop ball. But ball doesn't fall. Generika still with another chance. They go to Panay Mercado. And she knows what to do with it.
You could see it on Panay Mercado's face. She was going to cook this. She went to deep corner. Jen Reyes unable to come up with it.
Second generation athletes. Steph Mercado putting it through, giving Generika a 7-3 advantage in set number 2. Back set this time for Elena Bergsma. The ball sails out of bounds off the block. Is using Estampa and Gumabao for more ceiling. Elena Bergsma, former national team player, unfortunately commits a service error. And Generika again goes into the first technical timeout of the lead, 8-4. Shakwa courtside. Well, again, Generika taking an advantage. Early scores from the service line and then errors. The Petron plays, but this side, Gumabao commits an error from the service line. Petron now trailing by just 3 here in set number 2.
Unfortunate turn of events there.
Let's turn it over to the other side of the court, this time with Ina Oshako.
Tiyaga tayo, palakasan to ng service at pagalingan ng receive. Patibayan din to ng puso at utak. James and Sax, these were the first words of Coach Ramil De Jesus to the Generika Lifesavers in that last technical timeout. Though these weren't his only words, also he was making adjustments on his block. Ayon kay Coach Ramil, talon tayo ng talon, di naman tayo nakapwesto. Ang importante sa blocking ay yung position, kaya lumulusot ang spikes nila James and Sax.
Well, I want to correct one of those points. It's not palakasan on service. Who can get the serve in would be the contest. But about the forming of the blocks, yeah, in the last 2 points from Petron, the blocks were not formed. Gumabao a little too far off, getting tooled easily.
Cesc Molina. Shinohara had to chase it down. Maraño pushes it over, but ball still alive for Petron Blaze. Cesc Molina with some English on it. A good dig at the back row. Drop ball for Generika. No. Molina, one more try. Good rally in set number 2. Paneng on the other side. That's good.
Again, if you see Paneng Mercado's face, she really wanted to cook that ball. She found the seam before the ball was set. She saw it. Look at her. Already smiling when she hit that. That's the veteran hitter. Don't let her compact size fool you. She gets up there.
Santiago measures the shot. Unfortunately goes out of bounds.
It's a good thing Dindin missed Michelle Gumabao's foot.
And Generika with a sizable advantage now. They lead 11-5.
Yeah, Dindin overcooked her shoulders. A little giggle factor there.
Excellent block up top, but ball still alive. Bergsma from the back row. And that one is good.
Korobkova unable to get that. Elena Bergsma going a little off speed.
Cesc Molina on deck to serve. Former stalwart from St. Beda College, now playing for Petron Blaze. Running attack this time from Abby Maraño. Hashtag BMDC. Beast mode, don't care. For Kapitan Abby.
Look at this beautiful. She really knew where to go because all the blockers got left behind.
The celebration and the devastation for Abby Maraño. 6-point advantage for the Lifesavers. Adachi combines with Santiago on that one, but excellent save. Krobkova, cross court attack, but no finish.
Went a little too wide.
Seven to serve 12.
I have a feeling with a good reception, it's going to go back to Natalia, and she's going to put the ball in this time.
Abby Maraño tried to push it over, but no goal.
A little miscommunication there.
Also curious to see who will emerge in the battle of centers. Japan's Mie Shinohara, or the beautiful Brazilian rather, Erika Adachi. Santiago with a block. Gumabao sends it back to Krobkova, but kept alive. Gumabao sends it back. Bergsma puts it down.
Heads up play there from Elena Bergsma. Saw the regalo, put it away.
Petron now down by just 3. As Coach Ramil De Jesus shoots for time.
Okay. Okay? So, hindi kailangan magpapwersahin ng palo. Then, pagka galing ng mga dahan-dahan, tawagin nyo lang. Okay? Pagka hindi, ipalik sa backline. Okay?
Bawi lang, bawi! Bawi ako!
Okay, Ramila pointing out to his hitters, don't be too choosy. If the set ain't perfect, you got to deal with it and try to turn it into an offensive shot.
So that's a skill that all the attackers have to display here.
Yeah, heading into the huddle.
Not every set will be perfect, like you mentioned.
Heading into the huddle, Elena Birchma giving Dindin a lesson in hand placement of the block. Asking Dindin, you're that tall, you got to get in there.
Natalia Krobkova getting a friendly role, and Generika trying to reestablish their advantage, 13 serving 9 here in set number 2.
Yeah, this is the rotation that gave Petron fits.
Bergson blocked up top but kept alive. Dindin. And a chance ball given up. Adachi to Dindin Santiago, who floats it over.
Off-speed shot there from Dindin. Just flicks this thing over. Fingertip. Yeah, Melissa.
Yeah, that's you.
Kneeling before getting.
I love the super slow. You catch everything. Gohei receives well. Abby Marano puts it away.
Jen Reyes realizing that she was on the outside, but it looked like it was checked.
Abby Marano troops to the service line. 14 to serve 10.
It's amazing the fan base these players have. And I'm glad they're responding with some quality volleyball here.
Unfortunately, Abby Marano commits a service error. And Petron again trailing by just 3. Both teams have had their scoring runs. Both have displayed tremendous zest, protecting their floor, protecting the net. Now let's see who will have more diversity offensively. But Erica Adachi says, who needs diversity if I can go to my high percentage score like Elena Bergson?
Yeah, pretty swing there down the line. No secret where this was going. Check ball on Gumabao. So Melissa Going had to make a try for that.
Nina Ganon on deck to serve as Ariana Angustia has checked in for Generika. Gohei had to get under it. Krobkova trying to go long, but sends it out of bounds. Petron now down by just a solitary point.
Yeah, rare hitting error here from Korobkova.
Nina Ganon, on-time teammate of Dindin Santiago with that service. Krobkova measures it, but Adachi digs it up. Bergsma adjusts and sends it out of bounds, says the game officials. Coach George Pasqua does not like the call. From our angle, at least from where we were seated, I thought that was out.
The funny thing is, you know, the linesman is right there. And George Pasqua not in the best of vantage points.
Elena Bergson trying to get it back, but couldn't score. Adachi back to Elena, blocked away! Uh-oh. And Elena Bergson is down. I think just winded a little bit, she's okay. Well, they're gonna need Elena to be at her absolute best. Just a little winded. As we take a look again. The attack was blocked up top. Oh, I think just slipped.
I think
at
she...
the position of the first referee. Technical timeout, Generika with the lead.
The Philippine Superliga is brought to you by
Referee Adachi sets up Morada but couldn't score. Cross-court setup for Paneng, blocked away but kept alive by Gumabao. Back to Paneng, tried to attack off speed but no go. Molina off the blocker. Generika goes to Paneng and she puts it away.
Paneng just finding every nook and cranny that she can get the ball through. As you can see her facial expression, she already saw this thing before it happened. And all you spikers out there, that's why you're always taught you got to visualize the situation so when the game comes, it's not foreign to you.
A little extra hang time for the bank time. Generika up 17-13. Oh, Elena brings him a good save. Gets it back on the attack, off speed, no goal. Abby Marano sends it back. A chance for Petron Blaze. Erica backs it. Elena puts it down.
Excellent transition play there from Erica Adachi. I don't know why Generika looks surprised. She's been running this play the entire tournament.
Miu to Gumabao, off the blocker but no check ball. Cesc Molina had to adjust, off speed, couldn't score. Miu, cross court, Paneng puts it down!
Well, Petron has no solution for the problem that is Paneng Mercado. Just giving the blocking of Petron fits. Just defying their blocking whoever they send up against her.
18 serving 14. Good reception by Jen Reyes. Molina up high and down strong.
Yeah, Molina with one of the prettier arm swings here, just showing where you generate the power is not so much for musculature, but more form. And if you impact the ball where you're supposed to, that's where your power really generates.
And Angustia couldn't score on the combination play. Paneng Mercado, but Bergsman picks it up. Cesc Molina with authority.
Yeah, Melissa going in the perfect position, but could not come up with that ball.
And two substitutions coming in for Coach Ramil De Jesus. Cruz coming in, May Makatuno coming in. Shinohara and Gumabao taking a seat. We've seen some interesting combinations for Coach Ramil De Jesus. Earlier used Moises Stampa, this time using Ariana Angustia. Oh, Angustia blocked away and sent away. And Petron Blaze officially on fire, trailing by just one as we turn it over to Carla Aguas.
Thanks, James. Volleyball always starts with a good receive as well as a good service. That was Coach George's point in the huddle earlier, explaining that nothing can be done if it isn't received well. Another point he made, play smart volleyball. Don't just hit hard, but make the adjustments necessary. Generika isn't just hitting long spikes, they're creating short balls that cannot be defended at the net. Can the Blaze spikers adjust? Back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Carla Agos. An interesting question there. But I think a violation was what did Din Santiago. This is what Elena Brazen is arguing.
Yeah, she can argue because she's the floor captain. But the first referee not convinced that the ball was in the gray area.
A lot of passionate arguing here from the coaching staff, from the Petron Blaze fans. But Petron down by just two. Here in set number 2. Adachi sends it over to Din Santiago. And look at Generika set that away.
Yeah, Din's denying, but it hit her fingers.
Let's take a look at it again.
That's what I saw from here, but it happened so quickly. Here it comes. There it is.
A different angle. Unfortunately, camera panned left. She would say she didn't touch it.
Of course she would say. Everybody would say.
Our game officials still reviewing this hour. They're conferring right now as Coach George Passon continues to passionately argue his case, almost taking his frustration out of the chair. But that's a crucial call.
It is a crucial call, but George Pasqua cannot approach the linesman. I believe he made the right call. He saw Dindin's fingers touch the ball on the way out.
My question is though, again, as we try to watch the replay here, did the ball change direction when it was coming down? Did it, did it have a different spin or just went in a different direction if indeed Santiago was able to touch it?
Well, I mean, the touch doesn't have to be that solid. It just has to be a graze. And there's so much explanations here.
Okay, yes. That's what George Pasqua is saying as he is carded up. A yellow card handed out to Petron, please.
Yeah. Because, Linden flicked it. I saw it. So, hey, character of your team, character of your team. You cannot play the referees. Okay, is that the first bad call in your entire team history? I really doubt it. Playoff.
And finally, Coach George Pasqua is pacified a bit. And he's telling his girls, let's just play on. Just let me do my thing. You do your thing on the floor.
That's right.
Again, a hiatus like that can work both ways. It can fire you up or it can break you down. Adachi sends it to Cesmalina. Push shot doesn't go initially, but falls in on the friendly roll.
And in basketball terminology, that's called the ball don't lie.
Let's try and listen to this timeout.
Yes, we need aggressive. Mas aggressive tayo sa kalaban. Why? Kasi ahead sila sa atin. So more aggressive tayo. Pagdating sa floor defense, pagdating sa blocking. Okay? Sa attack, no more problem. Sa defense, and then blocking lang tayo. Okay? Forget about the referee. Leave it to the referee. Leave it to me. Okay? Just focus in your game. Okay? Let's go.
Yeah, George Pasqua with some very important instructions there. Questioning the referee, leave that to me, I'm the coach. And if I tell you as the floor captain, go and ask the question, then the player goes to ask the question. But Elena a little too aggressive against the referee. Lucky that she didn't get carded, because one more instance and she'd be thrown out.
Dachi sends it over to Cesmalina. And our game officials say point to Petron, please.
And then violation on Panay Mercado. Unfortunate error. Heads up play there from Abby Marano. Found the empty zone 5.
And again, Coach Ramil De Jesus shuffling his lineup. Michelle Gumabaw in. Mio Shinohara in. Going out is May Makatuno and Cha Cruz. May Mercado on deck to serve. 22 serving 18.
Okay, the players here kind of in a new rotation, so they're not comfortable with it.
Easy over for Panay. Adachi sends it cross court. Nina Ganon with authority.
Welcome to the game, Nina Ganon. We need 10 more.
We mentioned that the X factors here that Morada and Aganon combination has to fire away against Cruz and Mercado.
That's right, because Nina Aganon is a very good hitter.
Shinohara sends it over to Krobkova. Adachi digs it up. And a chance ball given up. Miu to Abby, puts it down.
Yeah, Dindin's hand placement not there. Yeah, George Pasqua pointing out, you gotta get your hands in. You're bigger.
Here's Shinohara on deck to serve. 23, serving 19. Elena Bergsma. And she scores off the blocker.
Elena Bergsma going clear over everybody again, going high hands into the deep corner.
Hang with an excellent save. Kropkova blocked away.
Yeah, Coach Ramil not really happy that Abby Morano blocked Shinohara from setting. She should have gone south and reapproached as the quicker. Try to draw one blocker and get isolation for her outside hitter, Kropkova.
Dindin Santiago to serve. And that's a good read on the part of Melissa Gohe, just letting it sail out of bounds. We are at set point in set number 2. Ryan Zapata on the board, replacing Dindin Santiago.
Give Dindin a little breather.
So Coach George Pascal wants to break the momentum. He calls for a timeout.
Sir, okay, we practice that yung puntos na yan. Okay, na-practice natin yan. Basta kailangan kumapit lang tayo sa service natin saka sa receive natin. Okay? Then, Micah, kuha ng isang blocker. Kuha ng isang blocker. Ayan, receive ka. Hindi na kailangan maganda. Frontliners, Generika, pwede yung drop. Kailangan lang matasabi wala.
Okay, George Pasqua asking for a reception, but reminding his receivers that it doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be up there, because Erica Dachi's in the front. No, I'm sorry, Elena Bergsma's in the front row. So there's an outlet hitter to go to. Doesn't have to be perfect.
Over receive. Angustia couldn't score. Elena with a shot. No finish. And Natalia Kropkova throws it down. Puts it away.
I've fallen in love for the first time. This time I know it's real.
Especially that last point and the adjustment Coach Ramil made, making Kropkova hit on the outside to match up with Elena Bergsma, who plays opposite.
On the flip side, Coach George Pasqua is still going with this lineup. And again, the blocking in full effect for the Generika Lifesavers.
Yeah, well, you have the #1 blocker of the tournament in Abby Morano, just proving her worth here.
Almost getting a friendly roll of that one. Agano's drop ball doesn't fall. Oh, a little miscommunication there on who was supposed to get it. Adachi backs it to Dindin, blocked away!
Well, everything going on Generika's way here. As Generika, no secret, their blocks are being formed better. Obviously denying Dindin there.
Shinohara to serve. Joust at the top, kept alive by Abby Morano. Shinohara second touch. Gumabo attack, no go. Abby tries to get it over, no. Adachi sends it over to Mina, but Gohe digs it up. Shinohara sets up an egg, blocked away. Excellent rally in set number 3. Kropkova back row, but attack not over. And Petron Blaze again on the board. And for more on the Blaze Spikers, or rather the Lifesavers, let's turn it over to Ino Shackle.
James and Tex, with all these crucial calls being made, Coach Ramil Jesus took the time he had in that timeout coming into this third set with his players to stress to them to not let the intensity of the game get to them. Ayon kay Coach Ramil, ganun talaga ang volleyball. May mga mangyayari na di mo makontrol. May mga calls na ayaw mo. Pero wala tayong magagawa dyan. Ang magagawa natin ay ito. Lahat ng dumadaan na bola, maganda man o pangit, gawan nyo ng paraan. Magpakita tayo ng maturity at character sa loob. His final words, James and Tex, at parang awa naman, walang tatalon kung wala pang nag-spike sa kanila. That's it for now, James and Dex.
And it seems as if the girls were listening to Coach Ramil, especially on that last point. Excellent blocking formation there by the front line of the Lifesavers.
Yeah, what I'm seeing happening here is Petron starting to get a little predictable, because when in doubt, they all go to Elena almost exclusively. And that's where your defense can form around that one hitter and just keep making her hit one way. That will frustrate any hitter if she keeps getting dug.
That time she tried to get it over the two blockers. That's why she overcooked it just a little bit. And Generika up by 3. Battle at the top. And that one is won by the Petron Blaze.
Okay, lucky point there, but point's a point.
In a slugfest like this one, you take those points any way you can.
Oh, beautiful serve from
excellent serve.
Din, and that's where she can be as effective as the spiking area.
Also with a clear plan from the service line for Din Santiago, attack. And she serves up an ace.
Yeah, Panay Mercado in the right form, but maybe just needs to be 1 inch to her right. But that ball was sailing.
3 serving 4. Unfortunately, commits an error. For Melissa Gohing, she really has to be able to read those balls. You know when it's going to sail over.
Yeah, the rule of thumb there is before it crosses the net, you have to have a read on it already. Because if not, you're going to be late.
Agata measures the shot, and again, another error for Petron Blaze. And for updates about the Blaze Spikers, we have Carla Agnes.
Thanks, James. This game is truly a test of character for both the players and their coaches. Now, after a very intense and somewhat controversial second set, the Petron Blaze Spikers are looking to their coach for leadership. Now, Coach George Pasqua reiterated the need to keep their focus on the game. Nothing else. Walang bigay-bigay, he said, reminding the team of all of their unforced errors and pathetic floor coverage. Adachi frustrated pumped up the team. We gave them 10 points. They are not doing anything different. This is about us, not them. Coming into the third set, they plan to play a more organized game. Can they do it? Back to you guys.
And an interesting question posed by Carla Aguas. After that huddle report from the Petron Blaze Spikers, it's a challenging job. You coach also, Tex, and you know, it's up to you to deflect the focus off of those bad calls for your team and make sure that your team is still lasered in on the task at hand. But so far, it's been Generika. Here in set number 3, they take the lead 8-3. Thank you so much for everyone watching live here at the Cuneta Astrodome. I see Jaja Santiago in her seat supporting obviously her sister Din Santiago, and the best friend of Din Santiago, Abby Maraño, on deck to serve. Generika up 8-3 in set number 3.
Oh, beautiful serve here from Abby Maraño. Like the point you were making earlier from a coach's standpoint. Yeah, I mean, they're bad calls, but it's the coach's job. You just pointed out to the officials, a missed call, it's done. You know, and the referee commission, they'll look at it, and the same mistake may not happen again. But the referees are human.
Micah Morada off the blocker.
Look at the intensity on Micah Morada's face. Totally tooled Michelle Gumabao. Not usually a sight you see because she's usually reliable on that opposite blocking side.
Minagaran to serve. Miu sends it over to Natalia Krobkova. Chance for Elena Bergsma. Couldn't power through. Other side. Cess Molina couldn't score. Oh, but excellent save by Generika. Chance ball though for Petron. Morada off the blocker. Miu, second touch. Natalia on the attack. No. Excellent rally in set number 3.
Good defense from Generika, enticing this chance ball.
The fake, the shot, and the finish for the Lifesavers.
It's just a tale of two back row defense on each team, because Generika just getting to all those balls, just outplaying Petron in the transition game.
I don't know if the camera caught it. Liz Goying tried to lift Abby Maraño in the Abby Maraño celebratory hug. Unfortunately, she couldn't lift Abby Maraño. Unfortunately, also, the Lifesavers commit the service error.
It's the thought that counts.
It's a thought that counts, definitely.
Yep. After a long rally like that, you got to put your serve in. I don't care if you lollipop it over. It's got to go in.
Kromkova measures the shot. Goes down the line for the finish.
The way she angled herself to get to zone 1 and just that angle she created makes me wish sometimes I was left-handed. And a lot younger.
And a lot taller. And a lot more athletic. A lot of things, basically. Zesmalina blocked away.
That's why it's called the wish list.
Zesmalina, one more try. And that one is good.
Okay, let's see how Generika plays this. Because they can afford to play side-out volleyball now.
Excellent finish for Zesmalina. Not an easy shot. She gets it to go. 6 serving 11 in set number 3. Oh, Abby Maraño couldn't handle it. And Maika Morada serves the brace.
Little misread there from Abby.
It's the game face of Maika Morada versus the beast mode of Abby Maraño.
7 serving 11.
Nahara sends it over to Kromkova, but Elena Bergsma digs it up.
Yeah,
Beautiful
nice adjustment.
save.
Yeah, nice adjustment from Elena Bergsma. Saw where Kromkova went the last time.
Off speed, but dug up by Maraño. Miu to Panay. Excellent dig by Jen Reyes. Zesmalina on the attack, no go. Abby Maraño defending the floor. Adachi the dump, Panay the dive. Natalia backcourt, couldn't score. Blocked away by Tintin Santiago.
Panay Mercado got caught not in coverage there. Unfortunate turn of events. She's supposed to be down here. Yep, she's supposed to be there. Got caught watching there.
It's ground and pound volleyball now for Petron Blaze. Overseas. And again, back-to-back hits for Petron Blaze.
A little run there for Petron. They pull within 2.
And Coach Ramil De Jesus wants to break the momentum. He sues for time.
Kasi babaw, sabihin mo bilis. Ha? Yan lang, saka. Puntos tayo. Kailangan natin makontrol yung service. Tagalangin, lalo sila nagkakaroon ng confiance, ilakas yung service. Okay? So sa pag-serve natin, Michelle, release ang napaka-importante. Kung mababaw, huwag ka magmadali. Ganun lang. O, receive lang tayo na sa maganda. Okay? Then, guys, pagka pumaparin na sana natin, pilitin natin kumover. Lalo sila Talia, talagang paampas yan. Hindi pwedeng maglagay lang tayo eh. Pag maglagay, kumover yan. Ha?
Hey, multifocal points here from Coach Ramil, pointing out that you're going to make the hitters lose confidence in swinging if you can't cover them, and we can't play the placing game. And telling Michelle Gumabao that, after a long rally like that, the service has to go in. If your toss is low, you have 8 seconds. You can catch the ball again and reserve.
Service error committed by Petron Blaze. Generika again up by 3, looking to re-establish the lead that Petron handily just cut down here in set number 3.
Natalia Kromkova pointing out that Erika Adachi is a front row, so see if she attacks.
She sets this one up for Tintin Santiago, who puts it down.
Tintin finding the floor there. Just going high hands downward.
That sends Zesmalina on deck to serve. 10 serving 12. Panay Mercado off the blocker, couldn't score. Adachi sends it over. And Abby Maraño sends it down.
Tintin just not doing anything with that. Little half-hearted attempt. Abby Marano playing no mercy, sending it right back at her.
13 serving 10. Back set for Dindin Santiago. Ball doesn't fall, but a chance ball given up. Adachi sends it to Cess. Ambitious attempt, but no finish.
Generika Adachi calling for 4 touches, but neither first or second referee agreeing with her.
Back set this time for Dindin Santiago, who puts it down with authority. Earlier, Generika Adachi was going exclusively to Elena Bergson. This time, she is feeding Dindin Santiago.
And now she has the choice because both are in the front row.
Abby Marano measures the shot. Reyes keeps it alive. Adachi backs it to Elena Bergsma. Down the line, shot is good. Like you mentioned, Tex, she has the option now with both Santiago and Bergsma in the front row.
And both you have to double block, so a little pressure here on Abby.
Panay Mercado off the blocker. Ball doesn't fall. Excellent save by Petron. Battle at the net. Cross-court setup. Nina Aganon, but Kohing manages to keep it alive. Natalia back row. Blocked away. Dindin Santiago. What a play.
Korobkova pleading with her team. You gotta cover me. If you want me to swing.
Chance to equalize for Petron Blaze. Oh, Panay wasn't ready for it. Neither was Abby Marano. This time Petron will attack. And Bergsma will finish.
Okay, little back row disarray here for Generika. Let's see if they can settle the ship.
As you look at that picture, perfect setup job for Elena Bergsma.
Look at Abby. Being Abby, settling everybody down.
Shinohara sends it over to Panay Mercado. Cross-court attempt, no goal, and Petron taking the advantage in set number 3.
Abby doing the directing on the court.
Jump set for Michelle Gumaba, blocked away. One more try for Generika. Abby, drop ball, doesn't fall. Adachi backs it. Elena Bergsma puts it down. And Petron Blaze with the advantage, 16-14, heading into the second technical timeout in set number 3.
The Philippine Superliga is
this time. Elena Bergsma again puts it down.
Well, Elena Bergsma just emerging here as the thorn in Generika's side.
And Coach Ramil De Jesus wants to talk things over.
Okay, Mel, ikaw ang rumis. Di ba si Abby pa rin receive? Alam mo naman tinatarget na. Di ba? O yun lang, kukuha lang ng short ball. Puro short ball ang target eh. Kunin mo yung short ball para makato si Abby. Okay, go.
Very simple instructions there from Ramil. You don't want your middle blocker or your middle attacker to receive the ball. I mean, there's no secret who Generika Adachi is serving. So Melissa Going should have cued in on that as they change their formation here.
What a mentalist Generika Adachi is when she plays a game of volleyball. Unfortunately, a poor reception by Goheng. Another point surrender to the Petron Blaze.
And they need to settle the ship.
This time, Goheng receives well. Kromkova back row attack, but Adachi digs it up. Petron now able to handle the attacks of Natalia Krobkova. Joust at the top, unfortunately. No one able to touch it. Stays on the floor of Generika, and Petron plays another point on the board.
That's not a joust Panay Mercado is going to win very often against Elena Bergsma. Okay,
Coach Ramil De Jesus sending back in Cha Cruz for Michelle Gumabao.
Yeah, going to make Panay Mercado hit opposite.
Set up job for Cha Cruz. Attack not over. And Petron on fire. They are up by 6, 20, serving 14 here in set number 3.
Yeah, Petron putting on a little high-octane performance here. Wow, just smoking the competition right now.
This time they target Cha Cruz on the service. Krobkova attack, not over again. And Generika's just lost here in set number 3 as you turn it over to Carla Aglas.
Thanks, James. Now that they've gotten a hold of their blocking, they need to focus on their service and reception. As per Coach George, there is no room for unforced errors at this point. They need to start playing aggressively and keep the momentum going. As for key players, Coach George turned to Dindin and asked her for blocks. Hindi ko kailangan ang palo mo, kailangan ko ang block mo. Could this be his new game plan against Generika? Back to you guys.
That's going to be a key element here for Dindin Santiago. She manages to equalize in the blocking department. Adachi gives it to Elena. Push shot, no goal. Miu sets it up for Krobkova. Unfortunately, that attack sails out of bounds.
All of a sudden, the machine that was once Generika, little bumps and bruises on the road here.
Petron 3 sets or 3 points away from taking this third set. Oh, look at Dindin Santiago serve up an ace. Look at Santiago just go strong with that service.
Yeah, Korobkova standing up there. If she was a little lower, she would have realized that Melissa Going had a beat on that ball.
Krobkova off the blocker, kept alive. Aganon puts it away. We are now at set point in set number 3. Mayat Zapata to serve. Abby Marano gets under it. Krobkova attack not over. In a high-octane performance in set number 3, allowing Petron to take the advantage 2 sets to 1. More action. This is the finals. Back in a moment.
The Philippine
last dance in the Philippine Superliga Grand Prix here on Solar Sports, and Petron certainly looking to dance away with the title as they lead 2 sets to 1.
Yeah, as you can see the stat line here, early on you can see the frustration of Korobkova, but early on, you know, Generika could do no wrong, and toward the end of the set they could do no right. As you see that stat line there, kind of deceiving because most of Generika's success happened at the start of the set, and most of Petron success happened toward the latter part of the set. At one point, it was 11-5 for Generika.
And how the tables turned as Elena Bergsma, unfortunately, that block goes out of bounds.
Okay, good start there. They need to establish Korobkova here. They're going to need her production.
Coach George Pasco sticking to this lineup. Back set for Mina Aganon, who puts it away.
Everybody a little fooled there. Everybody planting here on Elena Bergsma. On the outside, Erika Adachi sets back to Mina Aganon. Puts the ball away.
Running attack off the blocker, but Reyes chases it down. Aganon again, another attack. Ambitious attempt, just sails out of bounds.
Aganon, ball a little under, or she a little under the ball. And a little wrist snap action missing there.
Five attacks and 3 blocks so far for Abby Maraño. Short serve, but Reyes able to keep it alive. Morada's attack not over. So far, the 3 points of Generika. They're not able to put the ball through, but off of the attack errors and the block going out of bounds for Bergsma to start the set. Unfortunately, a service error for Abby Maraño, allowing Petron to fall back within 1, 2 to serve 3 here in set number 4.
Okay, Generika cannot afford to trade blows because toward the latter part of that set, it was evident who can throw the heavier blows.
Krobkova cross court attempt goes out of bounds.
Krobkova overcooking that. Also being a little under the ball made it sail longer than it should.
Inaganon back on deck to serve. Chance for Petron to take the lead. Oh, Angustia has to adjust. They jumped a little too early. Now Petron with the advantage. Shinohara sets up Nat Krobkova. Unfortunately, another attack error for the Generika Life.
Here in the Generika side.
Overseed. Chance for Petron Blaze. Bergsma up high but blocked. Adachi gives it back to Elena and powers it through. More energy on the face and in the performance of Elena Bergsma, Coach Ramil De Jesus will sue for time.
Adjust kayo. Wala naman, ayaw naman maglaro nun eh. Okay. So, dito na lang, depensa si Babaw. Kanina, maayos na yun eh. Walang pipigil din kay Bergsma, sino pipigil din. So, adjust na lang. Pagka tapatan, pilitin makapatay ng bola para mag-bisigil na lang. Okay, go.
Interesting coaching huddle there from Ramil, calling out his import, not very involved in the game. Let's see if that non-verbal or non-translated huddle wakes up the sleeping giant that is Krobkova.
Inaganon back on deck to serve for Petron Blaze. All they need is to put this set away. Take their championship here in the Philippine Superliga Grand Prix. And again, they take a point off that attack error. Look at Elena Bergsma actively keeping her team on the same page.
Yep, volleyball is now fun again because they're doing all their jobs.
Well, all good things must come to an end. Inaganon with that service error.
I mean, Generika's got to get something going here. We see Panay Mercado's production, 9 points.
Adachi back set. Elena Bergsma measures the shot, but Panay digs it up. Miu to Cruz. Bergsma measures the shot off the blocker, and that's good. And Petron Blaze heads into the first technical timeout of this set with a lead, 8-4. A 4-point advantage for the Petron Blaze Spikers. As again, we review the game result. RC Cola Air Force defeating Signal 3-1 to claim third place in the women's division. Now the question is, who will be the last team standing here in the finals? Cruz blocked away, and look at Erika Adachi. The celebration after the detonation, protecting the net.
Well, Generika's got to come together here.
And Divine Igia. Will she be a game changer for Coach Ramil De Jesus?
For Generika's sake, I hope so, because kind of a weird vibe going on the Generika side of the court.
Combination play for Angustia doesn't fall. Another attack there. And Petron plays with a sizable advantage of 10-4 as he sent it over to courtside with Ina Oshako.
James and Tex, needless to say, the Generika Lifesavers have been struggling in that third set and even in the start of this set with Mio Shinohara even close to tears in the past few timeouts. Now Coach Ramil De Jesus attributes this struggle of theirs to their spikes. He says, yung goal lang natin, hindi lang basta-basta ibato yung bola sa loob. Saan ang lakas ng palo, i-angle nyo din. Huwag natin hayaan mabalik pa ang bola ng ganon. Kung kaya natin patayin, gawin na natin. Madali lang yung hinihingi ko sa'yo, but ayaw nyo pang gawin. Soon after, Abby Marano stepped in trying to boost the morale of her teammates, saying, 10-0 run, hindi tayo ito, hindi ito yung team natin. This fourth set, ipakita natin sa lahat kung sino talaga ang Generika Lifesavers, and yet, James and Tex, they are still struggling with this. Back to you guys.
Well, it's going to be a challenge to be overcome. But if Petron keeps blazing like this one, it could be a quick fourth set.
Yes, it can be, because Generika just, all the breaks going against them. Melissa Gohing was there, but she couldn't handle it. They got to go back to the basics and regroup.
Divine Igia trying to score, but no goal. Adachi, the Molina blocked away. Reyes keeps it alive. Excellent effort by Petron Blaze. Miu, combination with Angustia, couldn't score. And look at that attack. Just go out of bounds, and point will go to Petron Blaze as he sent it over to Carla Aguas.
Thanks, James. Unpredictable and indescribable. Maybe two words to describe this game we have today. Now, coming into the fourth set, Coach George is confident that his girls have got everything down pat. Now, he said not changing up his six. He said that he wants them to continue to perform well. Kill the ball at a good receive, he tells libero Jen Reyes. Convert the service to a point for us. As for vocal leader Erica Adachi, let's finish strong. Don't even let them play. Back to you guys.
Strong words coming from Erica Adachi as did in Santiago. And the rest of the Blaze Spikers continue to pad the lead. There's an interesting point race there because Coach George Pascual, like we have been mentioning throughout the coverage, did not change his lineup. On the flip side, Coach Ramil De Jesus shuffled players in and out, different combinations on the floor. Was that a factor in this game?
Well, yeah, it could be, because the cohesion of actual on-court experience can be a factor there. Playing in certain rotations and playing in certain positions, it's just not your natural movement. So a lot of miscues can happen, as we saw. I mean, Labarte has been out of the game for a while, and then she comes in and tries to run an offense, and a miscue already between her and Shinohara.
And right now, the Blaze Spikers are unstoppable. Biggest lead of the game. They are up 15-5. A huge advantage for the Petron Blaze Spikers. This is the last dance, and they want their final performance in the Philippine Superliga Grand Prix to be a memorable one. They are now up 16-5. As Coach Ramil De Jesus still looking for a combination that works.
Yeah, sending his imports down. Maybe an all-Filipino combination and shake things up a little bit.
Here's Laborde on the attack. Blocked away! And you can just see the energy surging from Petron Blaze. Generika held to just 5 points in this set. Makatuno sends it over to Divine Igia off speed. Unfortunately, Santiago could not get to it in time.
Okay, let's see if they can go on a run here. It's going to be quite a run. Be an incredible feat.
An uphill battle would be an understatement. Dindin Santiago off the blocker. That's good. And the way Petron is playing, they can see the finish line on the horizon. They can smell blood in the water.
And when the other team is down, that's when you kick them the hardest.
And Gohing unable to receive well. Everything going right for Petron Blaze.
They can do no wrong, and Generika can do no right. When those two things happen, you have a route like this. Unfortunately, not what you want to see in the championship game.
Back set for Michelle Gumaba, blocked away!
Petron, Blaze Spikers putting on a block party here.
Let's try to listen in to this timeout.
Malayo pa yan. Dikit lang kayo ng dikit. Sige.
Lagay natin ba?
I-lansihin mo yung antay mo yung wicket mo. Bantay na bantay. Double block, double block. Wala tayong lalanat. Wala sa tayong set. Okay? Sige.
Let's go!
Yeah, Coach Ramil just saying, you know what? 1 point at a time. Once we get close to them, maybe we'll win it.
But their volleyball has to be flawless. Because they are down huge here in set number 4. The captain of Petron Blaze, Gretchen Ho, now in the game, replacing Dindin Santiago. So we have Adachi, Aganon, and Ho on the front line of Petron Blaze. Divine Eguia, but excellent dig by Cesc Molina. Aganon measures the shot, blocked away. Adachi sends it back to Mina Aganon. Excellent save by Generika. Eguia, unfortunately, couldn't convert.
Well, I'm just happy Generika was able to get it across the net.
And the crowd erupting for Phil Cayetano coming in. Petron within 4 points from being crowned the new queens of the court here in the Philippine Superliga. Generika held to just 6 points.
Amazing.
The first 2 sets, it was close, both 25-21. Petron broke loose in set number 3, but Abby Maraño breaking loose for a running attack of her own. Interesting change here. AC Masangkay now on the floor for Petron Blaze, so Erika Adachi might be moving over into a different position.
He's going to be moved to the hitter's position. She's now playing opposite.
Erika Adachi couldn't spike it over, and a lucky break for the Generika Lifesavers.
I mean, up already, 21-8. You see Erika Adachi still not happy with the call. Wanted that point.
Jack Cruz on deck to serve. Unfortunately commits an error. And Petron slowly, surely inching closer to putting this set away, putting this game down, and claiming the crown. Maaturo trying to get it over, and a string of errors piling up for Generika. We have to remember, whoever wins the championship here in the women's division will be the Philippine representative to the Asian Women's Club Volleyball Championships in 2015 in Kazakhstan, I think.
Wow. Lot at stake.
Panay Mercado blocked away, and she scores off the blocker. Will Generika have a miraculous run to try and extend this game? Or will Gretchen Ho and Petron Blaze close things out in this set?
Thank you. Substitution for Petron. Michael Malada is in for Generika Masangkay.
9 serving 23.
It's not impossible, it's just improbable.
Adachi sets up Elena Bergsma, blocked away. Excellent coverage by Aya Del Mundo. Bergsma blocked again. Bergsma, one more try, puts it down. We are now. Gretchen Hall will have a chance to put the game away. Generika had to adjust. Adachi, Phil Cayetano, drop ball. And Phil Cayetano scores the final point. And we have new queens of the court in the Philippine Superliga. After a dominant run in the eliminations, the Petron Blaze Spikers are the new champions in the women's division of the Philippine Superliga.
Wow, what a performance in that final set. It's not so much what Petron did, more of what Generika couldn't do. They could not do anything right. And Petron just put the nail in the coffin, and just for good measure, put 3 more.
And as we look at both teams in a sporting gesture, let's take a look at that last play. How fitting is it? How fitting is it that the comeback in Vilca Inlet, as she revives her volleyball career, what a way for her to come back, score the final point, the championship point for Petron Blaze.
She's no stranger to championships and championship games. The funny thing is, given her only spike of the game, she decides to dig because it was the correct thing to do.
And Phil Cayetano with the creativity for the final point for Petron Blaze. As you look at Coach George Pascua celebrating with this team, you know, even in the All-Filipino Conference, there were high expectations for this powerful Petron team. They had the #1 pick in Dindin Santiago. They had AC Masakay setting her well. They had a couple of bumps and bruises in almost top 5 in all of the 5 categories. Dindin Santiago, Mina Aganan, Maika Morada providing the firepower. And finally, Petron Blaze with the title of champions in the Philippine Superliga.
You have to give kudos to the entire team. They stuck together, and Nina Aganon came to play. She put those points away that needed to be put away. Maika Morada, but you can't tip your hat to Elena Bergsma. 7 categories to be best in every aspect of the game. She's in the top 5 of 5 of them. So the only thing she couldn't do was set like Erika Adachi.
And what a way for Elena Bergsma and Erika Adachi to end the Philippine Superliga Grand Prix. The awarding ceremony when we come back. Keep it here on Solar Sports.